Well, good evening, good evening, good evening, good evening, good evening, and good evening, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Real Men Being Men. Welcome to another episode of Real Men Being Men. You know what? Real Men Being Men is our flagship show. Ever since we started the broadcast, this is the first show that we started with Real Men Being Men. Oh man, it had to be about wow, I can't even remember how long. It's been over 15. We've been doing, well, yeah, about 12, 15. We've been doing Real Men Being Men. This is the first show that the first broad.
I think you froze.
Okay, I think we're back now. Ryan, can you hear me?
Yeah, I hear you.
Okay, good, good, good. I had to do that reboot thing again, man, and acted up on me. But what I was saying before I was so rudely interrupted, Real Men Being Men is our flagship show on the one that we've been doing the longest on this broadcast. So welcome to Real Men Being Men. I'm not important. I'm just a question asker. My name is Raheen Ajme, but this is my brother from another mother, but we got the same father. This, I gotta say it like that, is Ryan. Good morning, sir. Good afternoon, sir. How you do? Good evening, sir. I guess I should say. How you doing this evening?
You're doing great. You need to stop trying to rewind time, man.
Yeah, messing up bad, man. I gotta pull my phone lines back up because they went down on me too. So let me
There
see.
is one
How's
other participant
how's
in
my
the call.
audio now?
Yeah, much better.
Please announce yourself.
Much better, much better. Okay, we got things. I think things are back to what they're supposed to be. We did that reboot, and now we are good to go. Ryan, we're gonna start with other people that's supposed to be coming on with this as well. I'm gonna ask you the first question though. And this is an individual question. Everybody deal with this question. I know question differently. We're probably gonna get 5 or 6 different answers or different layers of answers on this particular question. But Ryan, where is the balance? If there's anything called like a balance in life, where is the balance in life?
Um, it's hard to say. Uh, balance is well, it's a balance.
Okay, okay. Okay.
You
Is my
gotta.
video fuzzy or is it clear?
Right now, it's clear.
Okay. Okay.
Um, you gotta find work-life balance, work-marriage balance, marriage-kids balance. You got all these things to juggle,
Mm-hmm.
and sometimes it gets pretty hard to do.
Mm-hmm. How do you do
Um,
it?
I had to say I'm blessed. I got it
Mm-hmm.
easy.
Mm-hmm.
Um, being the boss at work, it has its perks,
Yeah. Yeah.
and but I had to work hard to get that.
Mm-hmm.
And then as far as home, I mean, I may wear the boots, but my wife run the house,
Mm-hmm.
so
Mm-hmm.
um, I don't have to worry about cooking or cleaning or anything like that when I come home. Um, but I do help.
Yeah.
That's just
Exactly.
it's a choice, right? And most of the
Mm-hmm.
time, she get on my case for doing so.
Mm-hmm.
So in that department, I'm blessed, and my kids, they do good in school, and I don't have to really be super hard in that department either. But
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I think I'm the wrong person to try and ask what the juggling act is like, because I'm blessed. I've had it easy. Been my wife 20 years. It was a struggle at first, but now it's all good. And I think you froze again. Yes, you did. What's up, Badger? I see you out there. He is. It's twice since he started the broadcast that he's gotten disconnected. So uh, I don't have nobody to ask questions to or give answers from, and you're not on voice, so I can't repeat the question. He's talking about balance. The question was, uh, what is balance and what does it look like? And so we, talk about work-life balance, just everything balance. Balance is a multifaceted question, right? So you got your work life balance, your marital balance, your balance with your kids. Yeah, balance is definitely hard. That's what I was just saying. Yeah, I ate, sweetheart. Um, and that's kind of what I was getting at was balance is super hard, but I've had it easy. I'm blessed in that department. Been the same woman 20 years. I've worked my way up the food chain at work. So, you know, my balance comes easy at this point, but it wasn't always like that for sure. I think I need to text him and tell him he went off again. Yeah.
Ryan, you there? Ryan, are you there? Okay. Good deal. Good deal. We're back. We had a little technical difficulty there. Had a little technical difficulty, but we are back right now. And I want to thank you all for hanging in there. Good deal. Badger, where you at, Badger? I see you over there in the chat box. Come on and join us, brother. Yeah, man, we had a little technical difficulty, had to shut the system down and bring it all the way back up. But what we're asking right now is, where is the balance? And this, again, this is Real Men Being Men. We're here every Tuesday from 8 o'clock to 10 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time, right here on DKM Media Group and Associates. I want to thank everybody that's joining us and that have joined us. I definitely want to apologize to each and every one of you for the technical difficulties that we had, but I think we're back and we are good. We are good to go right now. So the phone lines are open, and I see people are calling in. Let me see who we have on the phone line here. We have
Yeah, brother Gary Griggs.
Gary. What's going on, brother? How you doing?
I'm thankful and blessed to be here. I know I've missed quite a few, Brother Ryan, but I've been busy, but I've kept you and your ministry in my prayers as well.
Praise God. Praise God. I appreciate that, brother. Definitely, I appreciate that, man. We got a question that we asked, and I want to hear your heart on this one right here, brother. Where is the balance? And excuse me, there's a different answer. Everybody can have the different answer because it's a personalized answer for everybody. But where is the balance in life for you? Where is the balance in life?
The balance?
Yes, sir.
The balance in life? The balance in life is to be, as far as I'm concerned, at my time and what God has blessed me with to be here, my balance is totally in with the Holy Spirit and having and praying each day that I can be used to glorify His name.
That's good.
When you get to my age, my brother, I've been to the muck and the mire. I've been to Southeast Asia. I've been around. I was an orphan at 15 in the streets, knowing the muck and the mire and what takes place there. But the balance is that I have to consistently pray and stay focused because it's bigger than me. And I have to fulfill, hopefully, that of which He has me here to do.
Wow. So that's where you find your balance.
I have to find my balance there because the devil's busy. The devil is going to be picking and pushing and trying, but the balance is he knows me. It's that I have, and my endeavors is to continue to create and maintain that personal relationship. So the balance is to fulfill all of what He's put before me so that I can say, yes, I've done my work. In the midst of nobody's perfect. I am flawed. I've been there, done that, and I still am not perfect. No one is but my Lord and Savior. But that's the battle. So the balance is maintaining and staying the course.
Exactly. Good deal. Brother Pete, good morning, sir. Hi. Good morning. Good evening, sir. How are you doing this evening? Man, I'm
doing good. How you all doing this evening?
I'm still thinking I'm on the morning glow, brother. You know, we this Tuesday, man. It shakes me up. Look at Ryan shaking his head like, yeah, brother. I'm hardest working man in radio. Y'all know how this thing goes.
He's in the glow.
Yeah,
he's in the glow. That's all. It's hard to get out the glow.
Exactly. But Pete, let me ask you this question, man. Where in life, man, and like I said, this is a personalized answer. Everybody have a different one. But where do you find your balance?
Balance?
Yes.
I find my balance in showing love, compassion, consideration, concern for everyone I encounter. Showing, letting humanity or my humanity come up to the forefront and do my best to have a pleasant interaction with everyone I encounter.
Now, see, you threw something else in there. Is that part right there? How difficult is that, or can that be?
Well, you're dealing with spirit. You know, everybody has their own makeup and what they're serving too. So it's hit and miss some days. You know, it's a skill. It's definitely a science in how you engage living souls. But because the intent is positive and good and righteous, even when I encounter it on the negative side, I tend to sway it in as much as of a positive way that I can, and I'll move around. You know, if you see it's not being received, then you just move around. You keep going, but it doesn't stop me, and I don't take on anything negative.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. And we're gonna talk a little bit more about this balance thing. But right now, I want to go to Toussaint. Toussaint, good evening, sir. How are you doing this evening? Toussaint, the button right there, brother. That button right there. That one. Push that one. See it? See it, Toussaint? God, oh my. He have a hard time finding that button, but that button right there, you got a button that's gonna turn your video on, and you got another button that's gonna turn your audio on. You gotta hit both of them, brother. Toussaint, but why Toussaint's over there wrestling? I guess. Oh, you can hear me? Oh, you just couldn't respond. I had you in a situation.
Multitasking.
Oh, okay. I guess.
Connect. So, good evening to you too.
Good evening, sir. We asking a question, and your audio is skipping. Ryan, remember how I told you yours was doing? Can you hear Toussaint's? Hear how it's skipping?
Yeah, he going a little robot. Yeah.
That's how yours was at first. Toussaint.
It's that GQ cover he got for his photo right there.
It is. Hey, Toussaint, say something real quick.
Okay, so there you
go.
So is it any better? I'm gonna go back out because I can't. It's kind of hard driving and being on here.
Yeah, it is.
That's a no.
And I don't want to hear no big. I don't want to hear no collisions. Don't want to hear no collisions.
Me neither, because I got to pay for it.
Exactly. But let me ask you this question, Toussaint. In life, how do you or where do you find balance?
I'm gonna say this every time you say something to me in when it comes to life. I'm learning this.
Okay.
My balance is within. Anything that pertains to what's going on with society and me, I handle it from the man on the inside. I ain't studying what's going on the outside. I don't care the political arena, religious arena, any arena. Ain't got nothing to do with me.
Yeah.
I'm trying to get to know the man on the inside. Because that's the real me. That's the one that knows how to function.
Come on.
That's the one that knows how to adjust. Because the inner man is where the spirit dwells. That's just me now.
Yeah.
The rest of it is carnal, flesh. It reacts to whatever goes on. It looks for happiness based on, like Kurt Franklin say, what's happening. But joy is just you got it.
Yeah. So that's good.
I don't even know. I'm not even clear about the question. But how do I what now? Say that again. I'm gonna give you the same answer.
Well, what I'm gonna say it again for? You're gonna give me the same answer. What I'm gonna say it again for?
I'm just saying, I want to be clear.
Okay. What where do you find balance? Where do you find balance in life?
That's right. Because here's the thing. There's a war going on in all of our lives. Flesh and the spirit. I gotta pay one of them.
Yeah.
And the better one to pay attention is the spirit, right? That's just me.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
So if I don't and I yield, I go based on what is going on. I might
Yeah, you fading out. Yeah, it's
that's how I do that.
okay. Good deal, good deal, man. I can't wait till you get home so we have a stable connection with you, brother. I can't wait to how much further you got? You got about 10 minutes? Good Lord. He said 2 hours the whole broadcast. Brian.
2 blocks, Raheem.
Oh, 2 blocks. Okay, I thought you said 2 hours. Okay, that's good. That's good. Right. We're talking about balance and how do you find where do you find your balance? We dealt with it on one level, but there's several levels I want to deal with it before we move on. Emotionally, how do you find your emotional balance, Ryan?
Oh man. Most people consider me stone cold. Like
Mm-hmm.
I don't really show emotion all that much. It takes a lot for me to get there, whether that's anger or sorrow or whatever it is.
Mm-hmm.
I guess you could say I'm hardened by life.
Mm-hmm.
My children softened me up a bit as they were born, but it's one of those things. Like my wife, she always get on my case. You don't smile enough. You don't
Mm-hmm.
you don't laugh. And I don't know. I feel like sometimes those are just wasted things. Like
Mm-hmm.
I waste energy doing those things.
Mm-hmm.
The reason I got put into the position where I'm at work,
Mm-hmm.
one of them anyway, besides my work ethic and whatnot, was because I never raised my voice at
Mm-hmm.
work.
Mm-hmm.
And that was my company is very employee friendly, which
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
basically the company is a union and employees get away with everything and I can't do nothing.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
So,
Wow.
um,
Mm-hmm.
but I don't. Siri, ain't nobody talking to you. I don't really get angry, but there's certain things that will set me off,
Mm-hmm.
and so that's where I've got to learn where I'm at, what I'm doing, who I'm around, before I kind of just let it go. You know what I mean?
Exactly. Is that before you like that short fuse?
Yeah,
That short
and
fuse. Yeah.
you know,
Exactly.
I've been there a year and a half, and I raised my voice one time,
Wow.
and that was two employees was getting ready to fight on the floor,
Mm-hmm.
and I walked out of the trailer, looked at them both, I said, both of y'all shut the blank up.
Yeah. Yeah.
And they looked at me and they, yes, sir. What about their business? Because I don't yell, so it
Yeah.
actually meant something to
Yeah.
them. You
Yeah.
know what I mean?
It put emphasis on it. Put a lot of emphasis on it. Let me go to Joseph. Joseph, good evening, sir. How you doing this evening?
Hey, good evening, family. How y'all doing?
Hey, doing good, doing good. Good to have you, brother. Asking a question, Joseph, and I need to hear your heart on this, man. Where do you find in life, Joseph? Where do you find your balance?
Where do I find my balance?
Yes, your balance. Where's your balance?
I think my balance is in music and meditation.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it allows me to slow myself down, and remember the things that used to bring me great joy, and before we got all wrapped up into this adult stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So it allows me essentially to be a kid again.
Yeah. Yeah. Wow. Wow. That's
Yeah.
good. That's good. Now, Greg, what's on your heart right now? We're talking about how do you find and where do you find your emotional balance? We're gonna talk about this a few more minutes before we move on to another topic. We got 3 more topics we're gonna cover tonight. So, Greg, where do you find your emotional balance? Greg, you there?
Hello?
Yes, there you go. There you go. Brother, what do you
Yes,
find?
yes.
What do you find your emotional balance?
Well, I think what at my age, Raheem, what would make my emotional balance so incredible, productive, and making a difference is being able to use these gifts that I've been given
Mm-hmm.
to make a difference.
Yeah.
You know, back in the day, if you were in the war in Vietnam, you learned not to react, but to respond.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you react, you lose.
Mm-hmm.
And if you respond, you gain.
Yeah.
And I think that is what we all strive to do, because you don't want to compromise this incredible spirit that dwells within you by being emotional physically,
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
not about you in the first place.
Exactly. Exactly. That's good. That's good. Pete, I'm gonna ask you this question based off his question that he just said. What is faster, a reaction or a response?
What is who?
What is faster, a
What is
reaction?
faster?
Yeah, what is faster, a reaction or a response?
A reaction
Or a
or
response?
a response?
Yes.
I don't know. I
Okay,
think that
watch it.
depends on the individual that's distributing
Hey, Ryan, you know, I ain't got it, man. I ain't got it.
it. I think that would be based off the individual that's doing it. I don't know. Some people may be quicker at responding,
Mm-hmm.
and some people may be quicker at reacting. So I
Yeah.
mean, you run up on a martial artist or a boxer, he's probably gonna be quicker to react.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and somebody that's quick with it will be,
Mm-hmm.
you know, with their wits, their consciousness, their intellectual property will probably come back at you real fast.
Yeah, real fast. Exactly. Okay, we had anybody else want to say anything on this topic before we move on to the next one? We got 3 more. Hopefully, we got 3 more to cover. I don't know if we're gonna get to each and every one of them, but anybody else have anything else they want to say on this topic before we move? Okay, Toussaint.
I hope I got better than I had.
Yeah, much better. That's much better. You can even turn your video on now if you want to, but you about to feed your face, so I guess you ain't gonna do it. I know you, brother. But let me ask you this question: what does you're in a situation, Toussaint? You're in a situation, and whether it's hostile or whatever the situation, but you say, "Hold on, y'all. Just give me a minute. Just give me a minute. Give me a minute." Toussaint, most of the time, what does that mean?
So repeat that if you don't mind, Raheem.
Yes, sir. You're in a situation. You're out and about some things are going on, and in the midst of what's going on, you say, "Hold on, y'all. Hold on, everybody. Hold on. Just give me a minute. Just give me a minute." Where are you in that conversation, in that situation? Is that a good thing or a bad thing? How do you Toussaint deal with that? Give me a minute.
If I'm in a hostile, I thought you said if I'm in a hostile situation.
Yeah, if you're in a hostile situation or whatever the situation is, typically a hostile situation, and you say, "Hold on, y'all, just give me a minute. Just give me a minute." What does that mean? Uh-oh. Here we go. Ryan, here we go.
Man, look. See, now that's what I'm talking about. See, I don't get in other folks' situations.
Mm-hmm.
Just because you riled up, that ain't got nothing to do with me.
Mm-hmm.
Just hold up. Let me hold on now. Because I've you know, that matter of fact, let me just throw this out here for some people that have been in a position and it gets kind of ugly.
Mm-hmm.
Even at work, Ryan, you know, sometimes the job can get to the point that it get and the finger is at you from the top and the bottom.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So you got to maintain, your position on where you stand, because you got to function, because some people at the top and the bottom don't really know what's going on, but they want to have control of it.
Mm-hmm.
So give me a minute. Hold on. And I'll tell you what I do on the job. I said, I'll be right back.
Yeah. Is that is in translation? That's give me a minute.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I do? And when I did have that, I'll go in my office,
Mm-hmm.
lock that door.
Yeah.
Sit down. Don't say a word. They can come back and follow me and knock on the door. I ain't gonna answer.
Mm-hmm.
Because I need that minute to kind of analyze, because there's sometimes you can let that cause you to panic and you make the wrong choice, or you say something or do something that you're gonna regret. And Lord have mercy, don't get into no church meeting.
Here we go.
You better get you a minute,
Mm-hmm.
because they'll have the preacher cussing.
Lord Jesus. See. Now
I'm
see
just saying.
what,
Now, Ibrahim, how long you been affiliated with
Oh,
church
yeah.
folk?
I know exactly what you're talking about.
Because if you ever wanna have something go on,
Mm-hmm.
let a situation that involves church folk money that they say they give unto the Lord,
Mm-hmm.
let something go wrong with that, and you'll find out that that's not the Lord's money.
Mm-hmm.
That's still their money, and they holding on to it, and they
Wow.
want to dictate and
Mm-hmm.
have everything the last say about what happens to it. So
Exactly.
give me a minute. I'm
Mm-hmm.
not, and sometimes it may seem like I'm walking away. Give me a minute while y'all arguing. I'm gonna go sit in the car. Or I might go home and we talk about it next week. But I ain't gonna fuss with y'all. I sure am not. Let me have a minute. Just give me a minute. Just
Long as you don't.
I remember
long as you don't.
Raheem, and I know. Go ahead. What's up, sir?
I said no. I was just being silly, man. I said, long as you don't pop your trunk, you okay. Don't pop the trunk.
Oh, don't pop your trunk. Well, I had that situation. Somebody threatened to pop their trunk. And I said, oh, geez, a meeting over with.
Yeah.
Anyway,
meeting is adjourned.
Was am I losing stream? My brother and I.
Yes, it's gonna. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Am I good now?
Yeah, go ahead. We got you.
Okay, my brother and I were he had a dead battery, and I was we was trying to charge his battery, give him a boost. And as we were giving a boost, the battery blew up in my face.
Oh, good Lord.
And my brother was like, oh, no. I said, brother, look, get me to some water so that I can wash my eyes out. Oh, but brother, I said, bro. See, because sometimes when it get ugly, that's the best time for you to calm down.
Yeah.
But scared folks, and I'm not saying that he was scared. I'm just saying when difficult situations come, you can't be the control. You can't do it. That's why people get killed.
Yeah.
Scared folks. My internet is saying, oops.
Yeah, we can still hear you.
Be a problem.
Yeah, we can still hear you. Your video's a little
that's
frozen.
just me for me to kind of gain control of who I am rather than what's going on.
Good deal. Yeah, we can still hear you. Your videos was a little frozen. It's a little frozen, but we can definitely still hear you. Rico, good evening, sir. How you doing this evening?
Man, I can complain, man. How everybody doing?
Hey, doing good. Rico, asking a question, and I want to hear your heart on this, man. If you're in a situation, say you're in a hostile situation, and you have you have the open-mindedness to say, you know what? Yeah, just give me a minute. Hold on, y'all. Y'all hold on. Just give me a minute. Rico, what's that situation looking like?
Hold on. Say that again. What?
Okay, if you're in a hostile situation, and some stuff is going on, and you say to the people that's involved in it, you say to the people, look, hold on, just y'all just give me a minute, just give me a minute. What does that most of the time? What does that mean when you say give me a minute? What does that mean, Rico?
I guess give me a minute to get my mind together, to give everybody a chance to just breathe for a second before they make the next move, because it might be a little chaotic right now. And chaos begets chaos and confusion. I mean, so if in a situation where it is some hectic stuff going on, it might be some chaotic stuff going on. It might take that person with that little calm resolve to say, "Hold up, y'all, and just take a breath." Take a deep breath. Let's not get too carried away. Let's not get too excited or overexcited. Let's not complicate things, because sometimes we can overthink and overcomplicate things, get overexcited about a situation because we just quick to react. I was hearing Donald saying that about when that battery blew up in his face, man. And I noticed a lot of times when over years, not just in watching videos, but just over the years, you can see a situation happen. And for some reason, it always be those one or two women in the back that always start screaming. You be like, what is the screaming gonna accomplish? Shut up. And sometimes you even hear dudes screaming. You hear dudes that screaming, come on, come on. I mean, oh man, you hear the chaos all on the videos, and like I said, in person. But if you take that time out to just sit back and breathe instead of being so reactive, then a lot of times that give you a chance to solve the issue with a calmer demeanor.
That's good. That's good, because the truth of the matter, that give me a minute could mean the difference between life and death. That give me a minute could make the difference. And Ryan, I'm coming to you, brother. What's on your heart? You in a hostile situation, and you say, hold on, you know what? Hold on, you know what? Y'all, everybody, just give me a minute. Ryan, what is that mean?
That's the difference between me going over the edge and possibly hurting somebody else, and me remaining calm. That's just real. Like you've been there, you've done the same job, and that's one of those scenarios, right? In the jail, you got to stay calm no matter what. Because you never know where your enemy coming from. And that's something that I guess, as much as it's a taboo word, that's something I take pride in, is being able to just sit and assess and remain calm and picture my surroundings, see the scenario in my head, and work it all around in there. And think about what my reaction is going to be. Sometimes it's what's my proaction going to be, So, but that's pretty much, I'm on the same lines with Rico and Donald with that. It's just, sometimes you got to make sure you keep your head about you, because if you don't, that could be game over for you or for other people.
Exactly. And that's the thing right there. That's what I wanted to get to, man, because a lot of times, sometimes when you see something like that, people take that as some kind of a weakness, though, Ryan. They'll think that you being weak. No, brother. Yes. I'm trying to protect you. Because I know if we go a step or two further, I have no control over what I do at that point. And so, one of us may not be here anymore. One of us might not wake up in the morning. And so just give me a minute. Let me step away from this situation, collect my thoughts, and hopefully you could collect yours as well. And if we come back and talk about it later, we could both come back with a clear, open, and a clear mind, because it's not looking good right now. So
and that's so true. There's plenty of times where I've been put in a situation that I don't want to be in, and I'm trying to explain to the other individual, hey, we need to just chill out and back this up and relax. And then they want to keep going with the whoop-de-woo, and it's like, listen, man, I'm trying to save your life right now.
Exactly.
Because if you come at me one more time, I'm gonna pull this thing, and if I pull it, I use it. You know what I mean?
Exactly. But Pete, talk to me, brother. Just give me a minute. You're in a hostile situation, man. Things are going sideways, and they're going sideways, and you almost at that point where it's not going to be good. For somebody, it's not going to be good. And so you say you have a clear enough mind to say, you know what, y'all, just give me a minute. Give me a minute. Just give me a minute. Pete, what most of the time, what does that mean?
Exactly what I said. Put it on pause and let's move around. Give me a little bit of space. Give me a moment to collect myself, calm myself, prepare myself, for this next level of interaction that we're gonna have,
Mm-hmm.
and so that it can hopefully be amicable and successful.
Mm-hmm.
That's what that means.
Mhm.
Now, if you're saying it in a manner in which it can be received. Now, if you on some man, get away from me,
Mhm.
it's done already went pretty much sideways.
Yeah.
And y'all might need to separate yourselves permanently, for the near future before this thing turns into a disaster.
Mm-hmm. Good deal. Good deal. Let me see let me see who else we got on the phone line here. Let me see who we got here. I think we lost Gary. Joseph, talk to me, brother. Joseph, you there?
Yes.
Yes, sir. Joseph, talk to me,
Hey,
brother.
I can get this mute button act right.
You good? You good? What does it mean, man? When you get to the point where you say, you know what, just give me a minute. Let me walk away from. Just give me a minute. Is that a good thing, a bad thing? How is that situation going, or have you lost control at that particular time? What do you say?
Yeah, I think that's a good thing to do. I think it's a good thing to do when you're not having a meeting of the minds, when it's clear that the other side is set on their position, and even though you are angry,
Mm-hmm.
rather than escalate it, hey, just walk away.
Yeah.
It's really helpful in the home,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
to let things cool off.
Exactly.
Sometimes the person will see the error of their way, or sometimes you might see the error of your own way.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Exactly. That's good.
Yeah.
Rico, how do you take it when and most of the time is our sisters that's talking about this, and they say that, well, a man is not supposed to lose control. He's supposed to always be in control. A real man don't lose control. He's in control of every situation. A real man. Rico, what do you say to that?
You said who said that now?
A woman is saying that to you. Say you and a young lady is having a conversation and it gets a little heated. And she said, well, you ain't no real man. Look at you losing control. A real man don't lose control. He stay in control of the situation. Look at you yelling and screaming and stuff. What do you say to that?
I'm gonna tell them, man, I'm a human being. I ain't a killer, but don't push me. Quit pushing me like that. I mean, we can only put up with so much,
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, don't get me wrong. They say sticks and stones will break your bones, and words will never hurt you. You know what I'm saying? But some words do hurt.
Yes, sir.
And some words can get you really messed up. You know what I'm saying? You ever heard of somebody crying wolf or crying rape, and you really didn't rape them? You know how many people have been locked up? Imagine somebody accusing you of something that could get you locked up for life or get you lethal injection.
Mm-hmm.
And if they say this, you might end up doing this time.
Mm-hmm.
Man, I don't know. I might lose my cool, man, and know that somebody's trying to take me off this street forever.
Yeah.
Trying to get me hemmed up in this system.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, oh man, yeah. I mean, I don't believe in that trying to tell somebody what a real man is. I hear people say that all the time.
Mm-hmm.
I think I know what a man's role is, but to try to take the human emotion out of a man is completely ridiculous.
Yeah, exactly. Joyful J, good evening, sir. How you doing this evening?
Good evening, everyone. How you doing? I'm doing fine. Wonderful evening.
Good day. I want to get your response on that, man. You and a young lady having a conversation, and it gets a little sideways, and she say, "Look at you. You ain't even no real man, because a real man is always in control. You out of control right now. A real man don't lose control like that. Not a real man." Jay, what do you say to her?
Well, she'd have to give me the definition of a real man, and how could she do that when she's never been one?
Wow, come on.
That would be my response. Mm-hmm. At the same token, who knows what a real man is except for a man?
Mm-hmm.
You know how it is to be faced with the challenges we're faced with every single day, black, white, or indifferent. And then how we're looked upon, even though we face the obstacles that we do every single day, we still have to get up and you know what, shrug our shoulders and just get to work and just do it anyway. In spite of what they say, in spite of what people do think or say, we have to do it anyway. So that to me is what a real man is.
Wow, that's good.
How can she tell you what a real man is when she's never been one? Maybe she's seen her father, or maybe she's seen a male figure at one point, and maybe that has her mind, you know, colluded to think that's what a man is supposed to do at all times, at all points. But that's, you know, that was his interpretation of what a man is, and so forth and so on. So for a woman to say what a man, that's not a real man, things like that, they can only go off of what they've been told, what they've been shown.
Good deal. Tucson, what do you say to that? That's good. Tucson, what do you say to that, man? You're not even a real man. Look at you losing control. A real man don't lose control. He's in control of every situation. Look at you.
The best thing for me to do is look. You continue this conversation by yourself. You're doing a good job.
Yeah.
See, because there are sometimes that you can't prove something, or is no sense in trying to prove something to some people. And every once in a while, each one of us will act up. Definitely will. If we're pushed to a limit, everybody got a limit.
Exactly.
And I got mine. And I would hope not to, because when you get there, you know, I don't know if y'all like that, but I get to the point that I make a decision. If this goes any further, I'm gonna either wind up in prison or in the grave. And neither one of them is not a good place to be at this point. But sometimes we have to let it be known that this meekness is not weakness. And I'll just on purpose sometime every once in a while just act a fool. On purpose.
Wow.
On purpose. And then I'll close my door and I said, you know what? You know, now you know that I'm, you know, they're this kind guy. Because people think that because, you know, you kind of most of the time they meet you, you always are this person that says, wait a minute, hold up. Stop right here. Let's calm this down. And every time they meet you, you like that.
Yeah.
And so they try to shove you into a corner, or they see if you're gonna run. Well, just because I remember, I don't know why I thought about this, and I can't say how I said it, but my brother, when we was at his house and I went visited in Louisiana, and him and his friend that he was working with, they was, you know, telling jokes, and, you know, the kind of conversation got kind of to the point where my brother was getting upset with him. Now that was his coworker. And I'm sitting up there listening to her, and I'm looking at my brother getting upset, and he instead of him opening the can, Ryan, what he did was he bit the can open.
Good Lord.
And I know him. So I said, hey, bro. I said, look, and y'all, this real men be men. Okay, I'll go to the Catholic Church, and I'm sorry, I don't mean any harm by saying what I'm gonna say, because Catholic folks will forgive you.
Yeah.
These other church folk, they don't forgive you. They'll cast you into hell. So I'm finna say something that may be a little offensive to thin-skinned Christians. So anyway, I said, bro, look, my brother is really not playing anymore. And I said, I'm tell you what, y'all work together. And I'm looking at my brother, and I said, he's about to knock the hell out of you.
Wow.
I said, but before he knocks the hell out of you, I'm gonna knock the hell out of you. Because you don't know me. Y'all friends. I don't know who you are, but I know I'm not gonna let you upset my brother like that.
Yeah.
Just so the calmness kind of got out of hand to the point where, you know, I don't like violence. I kind of go to the extreme. But sometimes people put you in a situation that you have to kind of say, okay, now it's not a challenge to your manhood,
Mm-hmm.
but it's just a challenge to you as a person. And just because we're always weak, not weak, meek,
Okay. Mm-hmm.
meek. That's a whole. You saw it, Ryan. You know how I hurry.
So he flipped it, didn't
I hurry up and kind of change that vowel.
he? Mm-hmm.
That's why
I didn't mean to say that.
brother.
Exactly.
I hope we don't get offended because every once in a while I'll say a word like I ain't gonna throw out no bombs or nothing like that.
Yeah.
But I'll
Mm-hmm.
let you know that I'm a man, and some of these words that I have shunned away, but I'll say hell every once in a while.
Every now and then. Every now and then.
Somebody going.
Yeah. Good deal. Good deal. Ryan, you look at you, a young lady look at you, y'all in a conversation, heated little conversation, and she stop and she look at you. She say, you know what? You ain't even a man. Because a real man would not lose his control like this. You all out of control, man. You yelling and screaming and stuff like that. That's not what a real man does. You ain't even a real man. Ryan, what do you say to her?
In my current state or how I used to be? How I used to be, pick her up, throw over the shoulder.
Lord.
Oh man, it's certain people who say things like that, and you just look at them in disbelief, and you just kind of turn around and walk away.
Yeah.
It's different when a woman says something like that, because I can turn around and walk away.
Yeah.
But if it's a man, it's gonna be a whole different conversation.
Yeah. Might be a fight.
Don, are you talking to yourself or are you trying to talk? Here they're talking. Oh man.
He got his own conversation.
Let me turn the camera off. Turn the camera off.
Look, I ain't realized they could see me. They can still see me. Yes, sir.
Oh, Lord. I got over 100 messages on my work phone. They finna put me over the edge right now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's different coming from a woman. I've never really had encounters with women like that, and I guess I'm a different breed because I was raised by my mom and I had two sisters, and up until I ended up on the street at 14, I think like it was brother Greg who was on here earlier talking about that, and I learned a lot about women from being in that surrounding, but it didn't do like it seems to do to these people today and turn them into women.
Yeah.
And my wife will tell you she takes me shopping with her because she wants me to pick the clothes because I dress her better than she dressed herself. And so I've always had a level of, I guess, insight with women, if you will. And so I've never really had those encounters with women where they would say something like that to me. Like I've never really had a bad breakup. I could call any ex that I've had since I was a child and just carry on like nothing ever happened.
You say you say you could call them. Well, what you gonna call them? I'll go ahead.
I mean, it's just weird. Like my wife, she can't comprehend that because every relationship she ever had ended bad. Mine didn't. And I heard something a long time ago say, women love for right now, men love forever. Meaning we have this massive heart to give to everybody. And for me, that's one of those things that explodes your mind when you think about it, because we as men, we have so much love to give, but we're stifled in this little box. We have certain things or certain ways we got to act. And when a woman approaches you and say something like that, it can kind of upset the balance a little bit in that box where your heart is. So you just have to remain calm and give me a minute and just, walk away.
Exactly. That's good. That's good. Anybody got anything else they want to say on this topic before we move on to our next one?
Yeah, man. You know, it's funny that you brought this up, man, because I've been having this topic with quite a few women here lately, man. And I had mentioned a while back, like this modern woman is sort of more modeled after Delilah. You have a lot of these women, and some of these women are raising young men and telling these young men or these young boys what a man is supposed to be. And they're really raising them into being the type of men that they want them to be, which is a Chihuahua turned hybrid pit bull.
Yeah.
You know, you have some women that'll tell you you're not a man if you don't stand up and fight. When really and truly you could solve the problem without a fight. You know, back in the day of chivalry, that was a way of proving your manhood, fighting for a woman's honor. It wasn't no need in talking it out or discussing or coming to an agreement, a gentleman's agreement. You had to have a duel.
Yeah.
And some women like that barbaric side of men. You know what I'm saying? They think that really comes, they actually think there's a common trait in men to be barbaric. So if you're not fight, if you're not aggressive, if you don't fight, if you're not aggressive, if you're not the one that's willing to fight for their honor, the minute somebody say something wrong to them, you're supposed to jump up and defend their honor. You know, rescue the damsel in distress, be this hero. But then at the same time, shut your mouth.
Yeah. Wow.
You know, don't be insecure. Why you worried about what a real man wouldn't worry about what his woman was wearing if he was handling his business. A real man wouldn't ask a woman what she gonna spend the money on. He ought to just give her what she asked for. If she asked for $500, he ought to just give it to her. A real man won't sit up and ask all these questions. They come up with all these different scenarios and these different standards of what a real man would and wouldn't do, based off the fact of what they want to do. So I think when you have a situation where a woman does come up and make that a point to address why she's saying you're not a real man, you have to sort of understand what her motivation is and what the issue is at that time, because they'll use that as a way to manipulate you, like Delilah did. Sometimes they'll teach it, blow your head up. Oh, you shouldn't be worried about that. You shouldn't do this. I remember one time, me and my cousins, man, me and one of my cousins got into it with these guys, man, and he wanted to be macho. And one of the guys we got into it with, well, they had a whole lot of friends. It was really a gang. It was just us, me and him against like 8 other people. And one of the people were like, man, you don't need no bat. You don't need no bat. You can whoop them. You can whoop them. He said, yo, I don't need no bat. I can whoop them. Here, get this bat. The dude he gave the bat to turned right back around and hit him with it. Boom.
Wow.
Blowed his head up. Because he felt like a real man didn't need no bat. But I told him, I said, boy, you give up that bat. We outnumbered.
Yeah, exactly.
We outnumbered. He gave it, man, I don't need no bat. I can whoop them. That dude, I mean, just as soon as he grabbed the bat, it was like a continuous motion. He just came right back around with it and Barry buns him. Boom. I was like, man, you gave him the bat and he hit you right with it. You know, but sometimes that machismo, that thing that, I mean, women just as good as peer pressuring men into doing what, quote unquote, a real man does more than other men do.
Exactly.
Nowadays.
You're right.
So you have to be careful with that. Because Jordan J said it. You ain't never been a man, so you can't say.
Yeah. Don't have a clue. Joseph, anything on your heart before we move on to the next topic, brother?
No, sir. I'm just listening, man, and enjoying the conversation.
Good deal. Toussaint. Most in this world that we live in today, is much different. But do people respect the union of marriage? Do people respect marriage in this day and time?
The ones that some of the ones that's married. That's a lot. That's a loaded question.
Yeah, I know.
Because you can have 2 rings on all your fingers.
Good Lord.
For Jezebel, she could care less. For real. And then there are some that, you know, they ain't let go to play a card. I mean, there you go. And then there's some that always have and always will respect what they have because they appreciate it. Some, unfortunately, get caught up in looking at greener grass on the other side.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Some neglect what they have and lose it before it's and lose it. How can I say this? They lose it and don't realize they lost it because
Mm-hmm.
they're so busy in other folks' lives
Yeah.
rather than the one they live with.
Wow. Wow. Say that. Say that.
Now that's the loaded one right there.
Mm-hmm.
And then they shove their loved one. Unfortunately, it's not a right thing in the arms of
Mm-hmm.
somebody else. For real. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
this is society we live in. Do we respect the sanctity of marriage? We don't respect the one that ordained it. So how can we?
Wow.
Now
Wow.
that's a loaded question, Raheem,
Mm-hmm.
because we marry who we want to.
Mm-hmm.
Now that's a loaded one right there that can really get out of hand.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Good deal. Good deal.
Because I'm just saying.
Mm-hmm.
Go on, because I
Go
was
ahead, brother. Go ahead. Go ahead.
no,
Get
I'm
it.
just saying. Because we have established what marriage is in the first place.
Mm-hmm.
According to the gospel, according to man and the laws of man. We have recreated the wheel. And if you want to marry your dog, you sure enough can.
Good Lord. Go
I just
marry a
want
little
to put it like that.
Go
So-
marry a little Fido. How you gonna marry Fido?
Oh, woof.
Joyful J, do people respect the union of marriage?
Not at all. I can say most people. I can't say for everybody because I'm not and I'm not most people. I'm an individual. But from what I see, what I've come together over my few little bit of years of living is no. A lot of people a lot of women, a lot of men look for married women, look for married men.
Mm-hmm.
Why? Because they know they don't have to have the drama. They can have the fun, and then they send them home to the one that they supposed to be with.
Wow.
That's what it's come to. A lot of people look for the person with the ring on their finger because they know they don't have to deal with any drama, any problems, and when they get tired of them, they can send them back to their husband. They can send them back to their wife, and they can just get the benefits. They can just take me out to dinner. They can buy me nice things. Maybe I have to give up some booty a little bit. This is real men being men.
Yeah.
Maybe I have to give up the booty for a while, a couple days here, a couple days there. Maybe I have to, rub him on his head and, tickle his man parts, if you will, and then send him back home to his wife when I'm done with him. That's the society that we live in today. Because like my big brother, Mr. Tucson just said, people don't respect the person who's marrying them.
Yeah. Yeah.
Let alone the person that they're standing, the God that they're standing on, who they're making these vows to. They take these vows for granted because they don't respect the people that they're in front of or the person that they're marrying, so they can do whatever they want. That's just my humble opinion.
Wow, that's good. That's good. And I know we could go. We can actually spend. We got another less than an hour. A little less than an hour. We can spend the whole rest of the broadcast on this. And I do have another question though. But there's a lot tied up into this thing. Ryan, what do you say to that, man? Do people respect the union of marriage?
Nah, people haven't respected that in a long time.
Wow.
And it's weird. I think that the roles have reversed, if you will. Things used to always be about men stepping out and men doing this and men doing that and the other thing to these women. And it seems that the roles have reversed. And all I can hear about now is how poorly women treating men and how they're always constantly looking for something else and constantly playing the field. And it's crazy. Like when you start thinking about sanctity of marriage, like, is that even a thing anymore? I mean, the government has all but thrown that out the window by allowing homosexual marriage. and that's not a moral or a religious thing. If you want to use science, science tell you right now, if you can't reproduce, you're not needed in the world. You're
Wow.
obsolete.
Mm-hmm.
So why anybody would want to change to something that's not needed and is obsolete is beyond me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly.
But no, I'll tell you right now, when Zamari and I got married, we did have a Christian pastor do it.
Mm-hmm.
But when he asked me how you want this done, I said, you leave God out my marriage vows.
Mm-hmm.
And he just kind of looked at me, and he was like, whoa.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm not going to get into semantics with you, but that's not what this is, and, I repented for that later,
Mm-hmm.
but it was just where I was at. And I can honestly say I think my repentant self was accepted because I'm still married to the same woman 20 years later.
There
So,
you go. There you
but
go.
it's one of those things that they just got to get on the camera. These kids that just
Mm-hmm.
can't stay away from it.
There you go. That's a good thing, though. That's a good thing, bro.
But yeah, no, nobody respects anything anymore, let alone marriage. That's just where I stand on that.
Wow. Wow. Joseph, what do you say to that, brother? Do people respect the union of marriage?
Well, I can't speak for everybody, but it's a sacred thing, you know. But I know, there's some people who, for whatever reason, they get bored with each other, or there's a number of different things that goes on in a marriage that causes one or the other to tip out. Some of it is abuse, and so many different things. But I feel marriage should be respected. But you got some people who, and like my brother said, they find it easier to get involved, with a married person because there's no serious obligation. But it's wrong, it's just wrong.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. Cornelius, good evening, sir. How are you doing this evening?
I'm good, my brother. How are you, sir?
Hey, doing good. Cornelius, we're asking a question, man. Do you think in this day and time, people respect the union of marriage?
No.
Wow. Wow.
No, not at all.
Mm-hmm.
From what I've seen throughout the years and so on and so forth, and what of our society and the way things are going, and like the brother had just said just a minute ago about how society has accepted the lifestyle of alternative.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna use it politely. They used to call it back in the day when I was coming up. It was called alternative lifestyle, and now they're passing laws to where they have truly lost the honor of and the sanctity of what marriage is meant to be, and it's getting worse because we're training the generations up like this now, and even where we talk about, and I'm pretty sure all of us has done this. People don't believe in celibacy no more.
Mm-hmm.
People don't really believe in waiting for their mate and consummating that marriage night, because it's considered to be special on the night of your. It's meant to be special for that night of your honeymoon.
Mm-hmm.
But now the way they see it now is I want to get to know you before I decide to marry you.
Yeah.
Because I may not, in their mind, say, hey, this is what I hear. In their people's mindset is that if I don't know, I may not like what I get from you.
Mm-hmm.
You may not know what to do with that, what I'm doing with you. Or you may be, as far as the fellas is too, women may like men, and we did real men. being men. Just keep it on. I'm not trying to be rated R, but this is real men being men.
Yes.
Some women may not like the size of another man, so they may not in that sanctity of the marriage. They feel like, they call it irreconcilable differences.
Yeah. Yeah.
So you got this thing that what they call is reconcilable differences that brings on that divorce.
Mm-hmm.
So in so many different areas in our society, that's the way they see it, And I talk to people all the time, and we get into these discussions about this. And a lot of times, man, the questions you throw out when I get on the phone with you, I actually share with my coworkers.
Wow.
And we get into deep conversations about what we talk about all the time.
That's good.
That's
good.
And this is one that I may throw out again later down the line,
Mm-hmm.
and different things like that. And that's why for me, when I got saved and filled with God's Spirit, and I was being delivered from the spirit of lust and perversion,
Mm-hmm.
and through the power of the Holy Spirit, man, I decided to live celibate. And I lived a celibate lifestyle for 8 years.
Wow. Wow.
Before I got married.
Mm-hmm.
And without touching a woman. Now, don't get me wrong, I had desires.
Oh, absolutely.
But I prayed and God helped me.
Mm-hmm.
What's that, bro? Yeah, I prayed and I asked God to help me in those areas, to help me keep myself, because I really truly wanted to be kept for my marriage and wanted to receive the wife that God had for me.
Mm-hmm.
So even once I get into the sanctity of marriage, through the what they say the vows are, for richer, for poor, for sickness of health.
Yeah.
For through all our struggles, to death do us part.
Mm-hmm.
I want that. I desire to have that.
Yeah.
And I didn't get married till I was in my mid-40s.
Mm-hmm.
So, and that's something that I've been married now for 9 years. And it's just something that where you just like, okay, a lot of people in our society look down and not honoring the sanctity of marriage the way God intended us to have this. And that's unfortunate. So that's just my thought to it.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Captain, good evening, sir. How you doing this evening?
Oh, I'm doing great. Thank you for asking, my brother.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Got to hear your heart on this. In this day and time, where we are in this day, 2023, do people respect the union of marriage?
Well, I heard everyone's answer, and I think the predominant answer was no.
Mm-hmm.
I think that how could you respect the sanctity of marriage when you don't respect the Creator who authorized marriage?
Yes. Yes.
Marriage is not authorized by man. Marriage was authorized by God.
Yes, sir.
And if you respect the author of it, then ain't no way you're going to respect marriage.
Mm-hmm.
We living in a society that's anti-marriage. I don't believe you heard me.
Mm-hmm. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
We live in a society that's anti-marriage.
Mm-hmm.
Everything that God say don't do, Satan said do.
Mm-hmm.
Everything.
Mm-hmm.
We're not living in an environment where we can eradicate the things that tempt us. That's one thing about being a Muslim. Living in a Muslim country, you eliminate the things that tempt you.
Mm-hmm.
So you don't have prostitution. You don't have all the things. That's why the women cover up. Not that you're not going to think about it.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I'm not going to make it easy for you.
Mm-hmm.
Don't put the apple pie in my face and tell me you can't have none. And then leave the room.
Mm-hmm.
The society with everything God say don't do. Society said, go ahead, baby, it's okay.
Mm-hmm.
You can do it. And so why would we respect the institution of marriage when we don't respect the author?
Exactly.
We don't respect God.
Mm-hmm.
So it starts there. There can't be no marriage with God because we have a pastor who's in the name of God, a preacher who comes in the name of God, who consummates their marriage. You don't go get no bum off the street to marry you.
Yeah.
You don't get no lawyer to marry you. You get a pastor, because that pastor represents God.
Come on.
And he coming before the world, so you don't lie. So no, that's what's on my heart, right?
Good deal. I saw something had to be about a month, maybe about a month ago, if that long. And a guy and there was a couple that got married, and on their honeymoon, and this is just another level of it, but on their honeymoon, this guy went out on his honeymoon night and got with a prostitute and got caught and got incarcerated. They locked him up for soliciting a prostitute on his honeymoon. Man, what is really going on? What is really going on?
But Raheem, let me say this. Every one of us on this line, my dear brothers, I'm sorry I didn't greet you, brothers. Forgive me, but peace to you, brothers.
Yes.
But everyone on this line who has been married and have been married, everybody know that you have a bachelor's party.
Yeah.
So you start off crooked.
You
start off at violation. My mama used to say, as it is in the beginning, so shall it be in the end.
Yeah.
You know, if it start off crooked, it's going to end up crooked. So, you know, you have a bachelor's party where you bring in strippers, or you go to the strip club.
Yeah.
Today now, before you get married. I mean, come on, man. I'm sorry. I don't want to make light of that, but I just wanted to say that.
And see if you stay at that strip club to after 12, it's the same day that you're getting married on, that you out there doing what it is that you're doing. But yeah, Rico, talk to me, brother. I know you got some say on this right here, man. In this day and time, do people respect the union of marriage?
You know, it has evolved so much that they have no clue what the sanctity of marriage really is. About I'll say about 6 or 7 months ago, I had a cousin that married 2 women at the same time.
Good Lord.
Had a ceremony. Those young ladies' families, entire families was there. And everybody was celebrating like it was a normal traditional wedding, similar to what I'd seen when I was 6 or 7 years old, 8 years old, the old school wedding. I'm looking at them like, is this real? Are they family members? I'm like, this can't be real. My cousin was like, yeah, it's real. He married 2 women, and they were just there all in unison, you know, and it sort of makes me think about the fact that now I don't even think they're marriages. I think they're arrangements.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? These people make arrangements to get together for a good reason that makes all type of logical sense, but that sense ain't got nothing to do with the creator. It got to do with what makes more sense for man and the way of life or the culture that we live in now. I said earlier this morning on the show that mankind isn't looking out for the survival of mankind, it's looking out for the business of the survival of mankind. And marriage is also a business too. It's to a point where you have men that are heterosexual, bros, that are considering for the benefits getting married. Ain't no homosexuality involved nowhere.
What?
They want to run the women. They want to be able to get the benefits of a married couple though, because that door has been open. So it sort of reminds me of that movie, I'll not pronounce you, Chuck and Larry. I actually heard that there was some guys that were thinking about doing that. They want to manipulate the system in the system of marriage for business purposes, for survival purposes. So right about now, the society that we live in, the environment that we live in, this atmosphere that exists based off of this dollar so much makes a lot of things that's strange make a lot of sense. You know, they say if it makes dollars, it makes sense.
Yeah.
If it's beneficial, it makes sense. Well, now it's starting to sound like there's some men and some women want to marry each other because it would make more financial sense when it comes time for retirement and benefits. So, I mean, if people are willing to do that and get married just so they can survive this man-made design, no, they don't have a clue what marriage is really about. So it is completely being disrespected.
Exactly. Tucson, talk to me, brother. Do people in this day and time, do they respect the union that is marriage?
No, man. Rico own it. You own it, Rico, because it's a business proposition.
Mm-hmm.
That's what it is. Matter of fact, they have more respect for the wedding
Wow.
than the marriage.
Wow.
Oh, they don't mind it. They make a big deal. Boy, I'm talking about let's go all out and let's spend it all on the wedding. I don't even like you. I don't even like you.
Mm-hmm.
But we're going to make it, we're going to do it big. I mean, limo, going to the Bahamas or cruise and come back and can't pay the first note on the rent, not the mortgage.
Yeah.
Not it was just did you hear what I said? I didn't catch what I said.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Not the mortgage. Yes, sir.
You done spent $10,000 in that area on a marriage, and you renting.
Yeah.
And you come back from your honeymoon and can't pay the first month's rent on a
wow.
on a brand
Wow.
new marriage.
On a brand going into it wrong. Jay, I saw you over there clapping your hand, brother. What's on your heart?
Yes, I mean, a lot of people do things for show. They want the likes on Facebook and Instagram. They want, all the followers, so they do things. And I agree with Mr. Tucson on that one. No, I mean, you can't pay your rent, but you want to pay $12,000, $15,000 on one day for people to come and watch you marry somebody who you don't really like that.
Mm-hmm.
It's a business decision. If I marry her, I'm going to be well off for the rest of my life. If I marry him, he's going to take care of me. I'm not going to have to work anymore. So let me just go ahead and get to marry him. I can still do me. When he's at work, I can still play around and see Brother Johnny or Sister Susie or do whatever I want to do. It's just a business decision because they don't hold the sanctity of marriage sacred anymore. Like I said, people get married. It doesn't matter. I'm still going to cheat. I'm still going to do what I want to do because me being married has nothing to do with what I do when I'm not around him. It only has to do with this smart decision that we're making. So he'll take care of me so that she'll work and she'll pay the bills while I stay home or whatever the case may be. No one actually reverences God first and foremost. The person who is doing the marrying, representing God, as somebody has said before, or even the person that they're marrying because you're just a dollar sign to them. In a lot of cases. That's my heart.
Wow, that's good. That's good. This thing called marriage, man. It used to mean so much. Captain, how did it become so what's the word I'm looking for? I hate when the words escape me, but how have we I say we, but society lessened marriage so much?
Somebody said, and I like what they said. When you can have same-sex marriages, man, you should find out being married, man. I mean, as my man talking about, you can marry your cat, your dog. I mean, it's almost right now, Brother Raheem, is that the world is upside down. And we are fighting an uphill battle. We're going against the gravitational pull of a world who have made its dominance in perversion, lying, stealing, and murdering. They used to have an old story. They said the road to hell is crowded, but you see one that goes to God pass every now and then. So you're looking at people who are fighting to keep their families together against all of the odds of social media that's constantly trying to pull them apart. Media is trying to influence our children, which is doing the doggone good job.
Yes.
And influence our children. Schools are now beginning to capitulate to allowing people come in to teach sex education of perversion to your children and how to marry. I mean, dude, we at the end, man. And I'm not trying to be a person of gloom and doom, but to be honest with you, right, I'm glad.
Wow.
And look here, my attitude man, God, bring it down. I'm like Samson. Even though, man, I'm going to bring it down on me, I don't care. Take me to the pillars. I don't give a doggone. Let me have this one power, Lord, and let me bring it down on the Philippines. Even if I got to die, so what?
Yeah. Wow.
This wicked world would not continue to keep going on, that we got to fight to talk about this kind of thing on these talk shows and never getting off of here with a solution.
Yeah.
And we'll be back next week, same time, same station, but no solution, because we battling for our sanity. We trying to make sense of nonsense.
Yeah. Exactly. You're absolutely right. Absolutely right. Ryan, what's on your heart, brother?
Cap right on the money. You know, there's not much more you can say than that right there. Everything is perverse. I think I was talking about that a bit this morning. Everything is perverse. Kick God out to school and bring in all of this nasty perversion. And I just don't understand, like, these people out here, and they see it, and everybody's aware of it. You can't hide from it, and it can't hide from you, but they accept it. They cower down. And I'm not one to cower down.
Exactly.
You know?
Exactly. That's good. Cornelius, talk to me, brother. What's on your heart?
Yeah, a couple things as I was listening to Cap and a couple other guys, man. I'll be trying not to go here, but it's in me, and I have to speak what's on my heart when it comes down to the word of God, man. And because it brings perspective to me about a lot of stuff. And I truly believe and stand on God's word. Why? Because I believe how it operates through my life and how I try to apply it to my life. And as I apply it, things manifest itself. Why do I say that? Because when you look back and you go back to the beginning, Genesis, and it was talking about all these things, talking about how God rained down Sodom and Gomorrah with fire and brimstone because of the lifestyles that they live. How the flood, before man's heart got so wicked, and God he was upset with the man and destroyed man through the flood. All these different things that's happened. And I believe what Ecclesiastes said is nothing new under the sun, man. These things is happening because, like Cap said, we're coming to the end, and it's not. And he said he's glad, and I'm with him.
Yeah.
Because some believe in Jesus, some don't. But I believe what God's word said, that these are the signs of the time that we're for the second coming of Christ. I believe that. And what we're seeing in people, in the Bible talks about marriage and giving into marriage. And that's what he's talking about. And giving into marriage is that business side of it, what my man was talking about.
Yeah.
And then you got people that just marrying just to be marrying to like you got folks out here, like when you talk about the sanctity of marriage.
Yes.
You know about how people get married for money because they're trying to move from overseas and they get connected with people and just to try they can come into the United States and get money to get their visa. And then they get a divorce. I've seen that. I've heard it several times. I know some people have done it just for money. That's the business side of it. So when you talk about losing the sanctity of marriage, this is the wickedness of man's heart.
Yes.
Because they don't understand. And like the Bible says that the man is a fool when he says there's no God. So all these different things that we don't realize what it is. And like I said, but to me, when I said that earlier, for me, man, when I got married, when I got saved, and they said, Christ my Lord and Savior, you know what my bro?
Kadesh, you're skipping in and out a little bit. Hey, Kadesh, we lose. Yeah, it's skipping a little bit. You're coming in and out. It's starting to skip a little bit on you.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, there you go. There you go.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Okay, my bachelor party. When I got married at 44, 9 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
When I got married to my wife, my bachelor party was going out with my church at a restaurant.
Mm-hmm.
Me, my
wife,
and my church family.
It's
Now, back in the day,
it's skipping real bad.
y'all get strip club.
It's skipping real bad. It's saying everybody's saying they can't make out what you're saying. It's skipping real bad. Hang up a call back in. Might be a connection.
Hold on, let me.
Okay. Let me Joyful J, why he do that, brother? What's on your heart?
I'm just listening to everyone's talking and everything. And again, it goes back to like the brother was just saying. And God said, be fruitful and multiply. God set up the whole marriage thing from the foundations, from when you read the Bible, you hear about in the beginning, God said and God did. Once he made Adam and Eve, the Bible says, be fruitful and multiply. He said, where's thy wife? Eve. Where's your husband? Adam. He didn't say, where's your boyfriend? Where's, your life partner? He didn't say that. He didn't say have many life partners as you want. He gave us the rules. Now, the creator who gave us the rules, if you make something, thank you, Holy Ghost. If you make something, you expect that thing to do exactly what you made it for, what you created it to do. When it doesn't do what you created to do, what does the person who created it do but destroy it and try again? I didn't make it right, so let me make a better one.
Yeah.
And that's what we've gotten into. And the Bible says it was going to be this way, as so many have said before, where we're going so far away from what the Creator created us to do. What do we expect for him to be upset with us and for all these calamities, sicknesses, COVID, all these injustices to be happening? Because we're disobeying the one who made us in the first place. So again, that's what's on my heart right now. We're so far away from God that we're leading exactly to what the Bible says was going to happen anyway. If anyone was smart, if we were smart, we would grab that knowledge and say, you know what? This world is doing exactly what this Bible who was written before me said it was going to do. Maybe, just maybe it's true. Let me give it a better look, or, investigate a little further to see just how true it really is. Absolutely. Because again, if it's true about this, it may be true about what it says is to come as well. Let me fix that.
Exactly. I got one more topic on the code before we get out of here. Anybody have anything they want to say on this particular topic before we move on? Rico, like you got something on your mind over there, brother.
No, I agree with what everybody's saying, man. It's sort of go back to what I was saying earlier. It's all psychological, but this is one of the times when people have to really understand when the Bible or when religion or anybody philosophical speaks about the flesh, just how weak the flesh is to want to conform to what feels good or what makes them feel right. Right now it's hard to get people to tell. It's hard to tell people that they're doing wrong when they're doing something that makes them feel good. If they want to marry another man, or if they want to marry two women, if that's an urge that they have, and somebody said, well, you know what, we'll enable that. Mm-hmm. We'll make that happen.
Yeah.
Then how can if loving you is wrong, I don't want to be right.
Yes, sir.
And see, that's the way it is with dope fiends. That's the way it is with people that smoke cigarettes and drink alcohol. People that's on oxygen machines and they still smoke. It's something that they like, that they just don't want to let go, regardless of how much the truth and the reality is that it's wrong. So now here it is. You got a lot of people that's getting married, not because this is the right thing to do, but maybe that's their way of feeling validated. Mm-hmm. Maybe they want to feel like they are marriage material. So that's why it's such a big thing for them to get married. They want to go through that experience too. They want to have the big wedding. And once they get that adrenaline rush out the way and they have that experience, what's the next one? Mm-hmm. What is that next motivation that you have this big dream about? Because everybody does not get married for the right reason. If they did, it wouldn't be such a high divorce rate.
Mm-hmm.
But
exactly.
I can say that to me, it seems like the divorce rate has gotten a little lighter lately, but maybe it's because more people are having children before they get married, which is out of order.
Mm-hmm. Wow. We got one more topic that I want to talk about this evening. And Cap, I'm gonna start it off with you, Cap. Cap, you there?
Yes, I'm here.
Take the state of Texas and the state of Florida. I know those two are really pushing. Certainly Florida is really pushing not teaching Black history. They're really trying not to promote it, to teach it. They're trying to take it out and reword it, if you will. But Cap, my question is a simple one. What is Black history?
Well, that's asking what is the origin of God. Now that may sound a little biased, but Black history is God. If you want to teach our history, then you got to, everybody wants to claim their history. I mean, Jewish people want to claim their history. The Irish want to claim their proud history. The Italians want to claim their proud history. Every ethnic, every people wants to claim the beauty of their history.
Yes.
Why not?
Mm-hmm.
And if you're going to claim your history, you sure enough not going to paint yourself in ugliness in history.
Mm-hmm.
But when it comes to Black history, people are constantly trying to make sure that we keep our history from ourselves, because when you look in the root of our history,
mm-hmm.
when you go to the origin of our history, you have to go to the beginning of man. We're the only people. Somebody said it earlier today. He said, I know y'all going, I think it was Curtis, y'all going to get upset. But everything comes, listen, Raheem, history, our history is a glorious history.
Mm-hmm.
But you can have a 6-year-old kid tell a 76-year-old man about his history.
Mm-hmm.
How can a 6-year-old child tell a 76-year-old man about his history? He ain't been around.
Yeah.
When you look at those who want to define history, their origin is only 6,000 years old.
Mm-hmm.
How can a 6-year-old kid, 6,000-year-old kid, tell the original man who's 76-year-old about his history? He's still discovering things that he didn't even know was here. Why we said, oh, so you tripping out over the pyramids, fella? Well, it's one of the wonders of the world, because you wonder how we built it, right? Stick around, we'll show you one day.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But the bottom line is, no, nobody wants us to know our history. You know what it does when you know who you are?
What's that?
And what you are?
Mm-hmm.
It empowers you. You no longer become under control of any oppressor.
Mm-hmm.
You free. And when you become free, you no longer under the power of those who take advantage of you in your ignorance.
Yeah.
People make big money off of Black people's ignorance.
Mm-hmm.
They make money off of us being divided. Come on, let's be honest about it.
Mm-hmm.
As long as we divided, as long as we don't come together, as long as we don't see each other, as long as we argue, as long as we fight over religion, we fight over titles, we fight over position, keep them divided, because Lord knows when they really know who they are and what they are, we're afraid. We're afraid when they wake up.
Mm-hmm.
That
Wow.
they may do to us what we did to them. Oh my God, keep them asleep.
Mm-hmm.
And then they could justify, you see?
Don't poke
That's
the bear.
why we made them slaves.
Don't poke
They
the
would
bear.
use the wood and draws of water. That's what they're always going to be.
Mhm.
That's what they're always going to be. Come on, man. People have an invested interest to keep us from who we are.
Mm-hmm.
But the gig is up, y'all. The gig is up.
Yeah. That's
You
good.
can't do it no more.
Mhm.
God is making the whole world see themselves. And let me tell you something, Raheem. He's handing everybody's their book or their record, as the Bible said. God is putting it in your right hand.
Mm-hmm.
So
That's good.
whatever race, whatever gender, whatever you have done as a person, as an individual, as a nation, or as a race, is all in the book. And when he gives you a book, open it up,
Mm-hmm.
read it, and weep.
There you go. Good
Because
deal.
it's not as beautiful as you think it is.
Mm-hmm.
Blessed are the poor. Blessed are the poor. For they shall be called the children of God. This is us, man. So hey, I'm not gonna preach, man. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to preach.
Let me go to Rico. I know you're over there eating, brother. Can you bring your camera on for me? Got both. You got both jaws.
No, I wouldn't eat. I was done eating.
Oh, okay.
You're over there sweating.
Exactly. Why is it, man? Why is it that Florida and Texas, mainly Florida, is trying to erase or not teach Black history? Rico, what is Black history?
Well, first off, Black history is world history and American history. You know, it's the history behind the written history, the history behind who built the skyscrapers and who built the pyramids and who did the labor. You know what I'm saying? Who came up with the inventions and didn't get credit for the inventions. You know, who were the studies performed on for these medicines that man benefits from so much now? Who is Henrietta Lacks? You know, she's so important to the world. She was like unique. You know what I'm saying? You have Eve, who they call a mitochondrial Eve, and then you have her DNA that was able to I ain't gonna even say able to, it was, I'm gonna say what's the word I'm trying to think of? A word where you can't be infected. There was certain diseases she was immune to. And they used her genetics to come up with different medicine. Didn't pay this woman family not one bit, but there's trillions of dollars being made off of this woman's DNA right now because they're still using her DNA to find out how to fight and cure other diseases. And she's the only person in the history of mankind to have this DNA that fights these diseases. Unique Black woman.
Wow.
You know, so I mean, you know, you go back and you talk about what science speaks of, and you speak of melanin and the higher concentration of melanin and the original man, and just science itself, how it speaks, and it really tells you that Black history is the history of mankind.
Wow, that's good. Ryan, what do you say, Ryan? Why do you think it is that states like Texas and certainly Florida is trying to erase and don't want to teach or push Black history? Why do you think that is? What is Black history?
I'm gonna take a page out of Morgan Freeman's book on this one.
Morgan Freeman.
Black history is American history.
Yeah.
Wow. I won't add the rest of what he said on there because some people might get upset now.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I think it's a trend right now, and it's not just. I know you specifically said Black history.
Yes,
but I think it's a trend across the globe. You see it with a lot of extremist groups. So in this case, you got some people on the extreme right, and maybe Florida or Texas. And then you got your extremist groups on the left pulling down American history, statues, figures, people that never involved in any kind of atrocity, pulling it down, right? And then you've got our brothers and sisters in the Middle East that are extremists that go through villages and whole countries and destroy their history. My people's history was entirely destroyed by the Catholic Church. The Mayans and the Aztecs had their history completely erased by the Spaniards. It seems to be a trend when they don't like something, they want to eradicate its history and then teach it in a way that doesn't really kind of go along with what history say.
Yeah.
So, do I like it? No. Don't like it at all. Because it made us who we are as a nation. And to better understand where we are now and the things that we've gone through, we have to keep these things in play. Do I like that trying to figure out how I want to say this because I don't want it to come off the wrong way. But it seems like there's more of a pressure to acknowledge certain things with Black history and remove everybody else. You understand what I'm saying? Like the kids come home, you know, and they're well aware of it. But they asked me one time and I didn't have an answer for it. Why did they get a whole month? You know, and I don't know how to answer that. You know, you got Gay Pride Day, you got America got its birthday. Why did they get a whole month? And you know, it's like it's one of those topics, you know, it's like, well, I don't really know how to explain that to you.
see that was to me, and everybody handle and deal with things differently. But to me, that was what I call a teachable moment. That was a very teachable moment right there. And I've nothing against you because I've dropped the ball in a lot of teachable moments that I've had, especially with my kids as well. Those teachable moments. And see now hindsight, that's why I'm so proud of my grandkids, man, because you know I know the situations that I had with my kids. Now with my grandkids, y'all saw my granddaughter this morning. I can embrace those teachable moments and pour something into them. And so I'm not gonna say how you should have answered it, what you should have said, or how you should have said it. That's not for me to do. But my thing is, I can say that was absolutely a teachable moment. Joy for Jay, what's on your heart, brother? Well, hold on, I said I was gonna go to Cornelius. Welcome back, brother. Cornelius, you there? Cornelius?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay, good deal. Cornelius,
can you hear me?
yes, I can hear you. Why do you think it is? What do you think the reason is behind them trying to erase or not teach Texas and Florida and the state of Florida not teaching Black history? Cornelius, in your estimation, in your eyes, what is Black history?
You know, when someone don't want to do something that it could be good for benefit, it's because something they're trying to hide or keep from doing. Because we already live in a lot of people are like we're living in a society of racial tension. It's been like that for the last few years. It's been picking up steam, especially with the George Floyd incident and all this other stuff that's been going on. I ain't gonna say incident, I'm gonna say murder. The George Floyd murder and all the stuff that's been going on. And people don't want to, you don't want to, like, they'll talk about the good things of some of the Black history. Like you talk about what the great things Martin Luther King did, or you look back at George Washington Carver and Dr. Charles Drew, Harriet Tubman. But then I remember, if you go back and you look at Dr. Charles Drew, he was the one that the first Black man to create. What type of medicine was it? What did he come up with? I can't remember what it was. Dr. Charles Drew. I remember studying on that back when I was in school, doing Black history.
What was it, Tucson?
And I think
blood plasma.
Anybody know what Dr. Charles
Blood plasma.
Blood plasma, right? Yeah, thank you. And you remember the history behind that is when he got sick or was in an accident or something, they refused him because what then they refused him. He died because they refused him because he was Black, wasn't it?
Yeah.
If anybody remember the history behind that, I think that's what it was. That's the bad side of the history. You can talk about the good side of what he did, but that side it was something that was done by because of his skin or whatever the case may be. These are the things where American history, which we know that this is the most racist country that we live in. I know we live here, and I love where I stay because this is where I was born and raised. But at the end of the day, the history behind American history is a bunch of thieves and racists. So if they bring those things up of Black history, they're going to have to reveal the bad things that they did with Blacks to the youth today. And it's going to bring up more racial tension. So it's better to shut it down altogether than teach it. That's just my perspective on what I see when someone is running for something to do something that is that is obviously something good for all blacks to know.
Exactly.
That's just my thought.
Good deal. Good deal. Joyful J, talk to me, brother. Why do you think it is, man? Why don't they want to teach it? And what is, in a nutshell, what is Black history?
A nutshell, Black history is American history. It's world history. Because wherever you go in the world, there was a black man. There was someone black. We started this thing, keeping it 100. But I believe, this is just my own personal thoughts. They don't want to teach because then they're like the gentleman just said before me. They will have to teach what white people did to Black indigenous people over here in America, bringing them over here, and all the things that they did. They will have to relive it all the time, over and over again. That's why they don't. That's why I don't want to celebrate it. That's short. Yes, sir.
Okay. Let me ask you a question. And nothing against you, brother. You know, you my brother. I love you dearly, man. But let me ask you this question: why is it when a lot of times when people say Black, they always add somebody else into the category with them? Why we just can't say what they did to Black people? They always say Black people or and this people, or Black people and that people. They don't just say what they did to Black people. Why don't we not put the focus on that just one group of people instead of adding other people into the equation? Why do you think people do that?
Because it singles out someone's wrongdoing. It points out one particular person or one particular group of people's wrongdoing. They want to include everybody. Well, we all were prejudiced. There was slavery before there was America. There was slavery, this place, that place, because they want to deflect. When you're guilty, and back in school they told us when you're talking about other people, it's because you don't want people to talk about you. You're deflecting because you don't want them to see the wrong that you've done. You want to disguise the fact or camouflage the fact that you're the one, or you were the culprit the whole time. Just like the enemy, the devil, if you will. The devil, he wants to say, well, God didn't really say you couldn't have all of it. You couldn't really eat it. He just knew it was this. He tried to manipulate and change things around so that the focus isn't on him anymore. It's on something different, so that he can continue to manipulate or trick us to doing things that we weren't supposed to do. And same thing with the whole slavery, black-white issue. They try to deflect because they don't want to assume the guilt that their ancestors have done to us. Whether you're racist and you're white, whether you're racist and you're black, now it doesn't negate the fact that before you and I was here, there were people who were whooped. There were people who were enslaved. There were people who went through all those things. And now that we're not going through that particular instance that they were going through, it still doesn't negate the fact that we went through it. Just because we're here now, we're in a better place, still doesn't mean that we still didn't suffer for years, 400 plus years of that. And because we're not in that space right now, doesn't mean it didn't happen. And they say that if you don't want the same thing to happen to you, you must learn from the past. Otherwise, it will repeat itself. It's going to repeat itself because we're not learning on a consistent basis, and everyone's not learning. Only a certain group of people. That's my opinion.
Wow, that's good. That's good. Toussaint, what's on your heart, man? Why do you think they're trying to erase or do away with the Black history? And what is, in a nutshell, again, what is Black history? And I got something else I got to throw at y'all in just a second. But what's on your heart, Toussaint? Talk to me.
It's a way of leading the pack, letting their counterparts know their stance. And Florida and Texas have a desire to show them we lead the pack in suppressing our history. It's kind of like asking Jesus, what is truth? Because the truth of the matter is, every ethnicity, you look into it and you say, where did he come from? And you say, what do you mean? And they say, that black guy in the family.
Wow.
Whether he's Chinese or Japanese or Indian or whoever, there's always a dark-skinned person in the family. It's history, all of us. That's what it is. So to suppress it, people like those that are in leadership in Florida and Texas and some of the southern states want to say, hey, we're going to lead this thing. We're going to make it known that we don't want you to know that when we bury Papa, he want us too.
Yeah. Wow. That's good. That's good. Now I want to read and anybody that want to jump in, we got a few more minutes and we can actually stay on this a little longer if y'all would like to. But I want to read what Public Citizen, what Paul said in the chat. All people have common struggles. Why not unite behind our shared humanity and shared struggles? Anybody want to comment on that?
That right there. That
That's
right
my
there.
man, Paul. That's my man's in there. Let me see. Paul, what I like about Paul is wishful thinking. Paul wants to see the best out of humanity. And I think that's with everybody on this line. When I don't think nobody's in disagreement with what Paul is saying. We all want to take the worst of behavior, what we've gone through, and use it as a launching pad of unity. But we can't get there, Paul, if there's no acknowledgement of a wrong. How could we sit at the table of unity when we don't even want to acknowledge the wrong has been done? I think that's what, Paul, you don't understand. We're not saying that one day the whole human family will unite, but we will unite only after we sit down and recognize what everybody did to everybody. I don't want you to talk about your case if they're talking about my case. You know, I'm in the hospital and you want to talk about, well, you know, the doctor going to tell me in the hospital, well, see, everybody have trouble. See, like my wife, she had, I said, Doc, I ain't talking about, I'm talking about me right now. I'm talking about what happened to me.
Yeah.
As my brother said, we always want to deflect.
Yeah.
So Paul, we are in agreement with you. Only once we sit at the table and acknowledge the wrong. That's all. Ain't nobody mad at nobody. Just acknowledge you did me wrong.
Yeah.
That's what the rapist, the woman that was raped want to hear from the rapist. You raped me. Acknowledge you raped me.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I can start the healing process. But for you to say, well, you know, let me say that I was drunk. See, I was drinking and no. That's no excuse for your action. So my point is, Paul, we agree with you. But let's sit at the table and acknowledge that there has been a great wrong done to the people in America, especially Black people. Let's acknowledge that. Because we're in America. We're not over in Africa.
Yeah. Yeah.
We're talking about what we accomplished, Raheem. When we hear Black history in America, that's our accomplishment under oppression. Martin Luther King, all that we did under slavery. You mean to tell me Black people didn't bring nothing to the world other than what you said we brought under slavery? Our history go beyond 400 years. We brought world accomplishment. But you only gonna tell me about what we did, Booker T. Washington, and come on. That's our accomplishment under captivity. That's our accomplishment as enslaved people. Now let's go beyond 400 years. And what did we do before you brought us here enslaved? Surely we had to know something about building because we built America. So building is in our DNA. How do you know? Look at the oldest continent on this planet. You got to acknowledge it. Don't be scared. Embrace it. That's what I want to say, right?
Good deal. Rico, I think you wanted to say something.
Hey, Raheem.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Raheem.
Yes, sir.
I'm sorry, man, because I got to get ready to go back to work. But can I just say this?
Yes. Go ahead.
And I know this is going to spark up something. And I know we got to get ready to get off. I don't know if y'all seen that movie by Viola Davis called Woman King.
Yes.
Now, you know that movie was based off a true story.
Mm-hmm.
I love that movie. That was a very interesting movie about women being warriors.
Mm-hmm.
But what I seen in that movie really struck me because I recognize Africa as being one of the most powerful continents. Their warriors are there. So my question was, how in the world? Because all of us black men, we ain't gonna let nobody just come in our house and take something.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of times, unless we allow it, or we got some hidden agenda behind it.
Mm-hmm.
And what I seen in that movie, a lot of that stuff was African slave trade for goods, for money, for weapons. That stuff was real.
Mm-hmm.
So not because that I have a real problem that would make me wonder. We let somebody from another country come into one of the most powerful countries in the world, the motherland, and take their people out of there unless it was something to it. That's just a thought.
Mm-hmm.
I got to get back to it, man.
Hey, appreciate you, brother. Want to say what you want to say in your closing before you get out of here? Cornelius?
I think that was his closing.
That joker hung up quick. Boy, he hung up quick. Rico, you wanted to say something?
Yeah, he was on the clock, man. First I'm gonna tell Ryan, man, the next time one of his children want to ask that question, go back and find out who came up with Black History Month, and then find out how it started from Black History Week, and then his reasoning for even coming up with it. His name is Carter G. Woodson.
Yeah.
There's a reason behind everything. It ain't just come up out the blue as some wild idea. You know what I'm saying? It's a very necessary reason why some very intelligent people came up with it. So the name Carter G. Woodson is who you need to look up, because your opinion wouldn't be a good reason or a good definition of why it came about. You would have to hear it from the person that came up with it, and I guarantee you're gonna agree with it.
Mm-hmm.
And then you asked the question. I didn't get to answer the question about Florida and Texas governor, but y'all pretty much hit it, man. You know, truth hurts.
Mm-hmm.
The truth hurts, man, and I love pain.
Mm-hmm.
But see, some people can't take that pain.
Yeah.
You know, some people can't accept that their grandfather may have been Hitler or Jeffrey Dahmer. You know how ashamed some of those people are that are related to those Leopolds, some of these Stalins. You know, a lot of people change their last names because they don't want to be associated with these people, these atrocious people that committed such inhumane acts.
Mm-hmm.
And oh boy, the good old United States is supposed to be the protector of man and defender of democracy, and making sure that people aren't treated like that.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, but America wouldn't have been America if it didn't do the same thing. And it's painful. It's painful to understand that America became what it became through medicine and through military and through violence and through money off the back of people that they fed the alligators and bred like dogs.
Yeah. Wow.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so, you know, that's shameful. It's embarrassing.
Mm-hmm.
And I can understand that. I would feel ashamed if my father was inhumane.
Yeah.
If my father was something serious, if my father was Wayne Williams, I'd change my last name to Miller.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
But see, it makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? When it hits you close to home, or when you see it firsthand, it makes sense. But I want to remind Paul to always go back and think about how it struck him to read that War on Drugs targeted Black people and the long-term effect. Once again, there's a reason why they did that. They didn't just target Black people for that one generation. They knew the trickle and long-term effect of taking men out the households and having them infected and intoxicated with all these different mind-altering things, and this dependence on drugs and social benefits. I mean, this is one big bird, two wings.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And both of them are really ashamed of what made this country so great.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And as a matter of fact, we do have Paul with us, and he wrote in the box there. in the comment box. He want to respond to what Cap says. So we already over time, so we're not gonna spend a whole lot of time. But we probably end up continuing this on the Morning Glow tomorrow. So whatever we're gonna start tonight, we probably tomorrow's way out Wednesday anyway. So ain't no telling what we're gonna get tomorrow. So Paul, what's on your heart, brother? Good evening. How you doing this evening?
Hey, pretty good. Good evening to everyone. Yeah, I just tuned in the last few minutes. So I just want to clarify my comment. I said all people have common struggles. Why not unite behind our shared humanity and shared struggle? So what I mean by that is, I think to reach people's heart, you have to tell them things that they can understand. And I think some people are just closed off. They don't want to hear, any other. They got their mind made up, right? They don't even have an open mind, open heart, nothing. So you kind of have to reach them where they're at. So that's why I'm saying unite. And I understand you might think that's naive or whatever. I don't honestly. I'm opposed to all this, rewriting history and all that stuff that Florida is doing. It's very harmful. As a teacher, I can tell you, teaching history, and especially painful history things, is complicated. It leaves an emotional impact on people, certain things. So I think you have to be somewhat careful. I've heard people on this show mention that many times before. Some of the history is very traumatizing. So I think you have to be careful, and appropriate for the age level. And as I said, I think Black people got it. A lot of people got it bad. I mean, I think history shows who got it the worst in America. Black Americans, descendants of slaves, got it the worst. The evidence is overwhelming. I'm not going to deny that. I think some people will. But I'm saying to get them to, move forward, you got to reach them wherever they are.
Okay. Cap, do you want to respond?
I mean, that's my man's in them, Paul. I appreciate you, man. For real. I have grown to really admire you because, no matter how controversy, an emotional charge, our conversations, you say what you mean. And I believe you mean what you say.
Yeah.
And on that note, I really admire you for that. It's not easy because you have to really be very conscious about what you say, how you say it. My dear brother, my brother Ryan, he said something about some weeks or two ago, and Lord, did we jump on him both feet and hands. He backed up right at the wall. Wait, I'm sorry. Okay, well, wait, all right. But because sometimes we mean well, but it don't come off well.
Yeah.
But thank you, Paul. I appreciate that. And I know you, like all of us, we are lovers of life. You are a teacher, Paul. You understand the power of influence that a teacher have in teaching. And you're right. We have to, people, it's hard to talk about the trauma because the real history of what actually happened to my forefathers, we could not fathom the depth of what another human being can do to another human being. And with that kind of pain, you kind of keep it suppressed. But thank you, Paul. I appreciate you, man. I ain't got nothing to say, Paul. He was on point, and I think he made his case.
Good deal. Well, how they said, if all hearts and minds are clear, it's on 10:11. We don't y'all got an extra couple of minutes. Anybody got anything real quickly they want to say before we get out of here?
Let me throw this out there. And I don't know, I feel like it was kind of just dropped on me. And I was thinking about what Paul was saying and thinking about that subject about trying to remove Black history and us having to recognize certain things. But as a white person, I'll tell you this, never once in school was I taught the atrocities that I committed or that our predecessors committed on our own people, let alone Black people. So how can we reconcile with what we did to people of color when we can't even admit what we did to our own people?
Wow. Okay. That's we're gonna pick that up tomorrow. We'll pick that up tomorrow. because like I said, we get into that conversation right now, it's gonna be 12:30, 1 o'clock in the morning.
Hey, you gotta do what you gotta do, bro.
It's gonna be 12:30, 1 o'clock in the morning, bro. And no, I won't be doing that. No, sir. No, sir.
Amen.
But my thing is this right here, man. We'll touch on that in the morning. Remember that what you just said, Brian, and we'll pick that up in the morning. It's Way Out Wednesday, so we can talk about what we want to talk about on Way Out Wednesday. Anybody else have anything real quickly that they like to say before we get out of here?
Well, these are closing statements.
Yes, go ahead. Yeah, go ahead. I thought everybody else had something to say. We'll go ahead and go to the closing now. Rico, in your closing.
Man, just sort of be aware that we are living in the system that's under the control of beta males. They created a system where they can control the resources, and now we all out of order under the influence of these beta males.
Mm-hmm. Good deal. Good deal. Paul, in your closing, sir.
Wow. Well, as always, you know, everyone makes great points. That's why I've been listening to for going on 3 years now. So I always appreciate the deep conversations I hear. And yeah, I agree. We need to do better. We need better leaders.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Cap, in your closing.
Man, everybody, you know, don't take life for granted.
Mm-hmm.
And don't take that your influence, no matter how big or small you think you are, does not have an impact and change. Never, family, never stop fighting for change.
Mm-hmm.
Fight for change that God take your very breath,
Mm-hmm.
because you never realize who you may have affected with that change. Thank you, Raheem, for giving me this great opportunity. Love everybody.
Hey, love you as well. Ryan, in your closing, sir.
I'm just happy to hear Cap. You know what I mean? I'm thankful that he's with us again.
Sir. Absolutely.
And yeah, I love all y'all. Be safe out there. It's a crazy world.
Absolutely. Love you too, brother. Absolutely. Joyful J.
My brothers, again, as always, I appreciate coming on with you guys. A lot of you guys know my story. A lot of you guys don't, but I enjoy talking with fellas or people of like minds or with different minds just to see, you know, what's going on in the world today. Listen, you only get one life to live, so make the best of it. That's my only and final word. Real talk.
Good deal. Good deal. Toussaint.
Yeah, definitely. Glad to hear Cap, man. Thank God for you, man, because you know, how can two walk together unless they agree? You are a teacher, and I appreciate you. And if I don't ever get a chance to say that, I want to say that. One thing that my daddy said, and I've taken that. He says you got 2 ears and 1 mouth for a reason.
Mm-hmm.
But I've put it to another level. I listen carefully.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
You might hear the wrong thing.
Mm-hmm. you might be listening to your line behind ears, huh?
Right.
Rico, we got a show that we do every morning from 7 o'clock until 10 o'clock called The Morning Glow. But on Wednesdays, it's a I can't seem to I forget what it's called. What it's The Morning Glow, but what do we call it on Wednesdays?
It's called Sometime Way Out Wednesday.
Look at this dude.
Sometimes we hesitate and it end up going Thursday.
Yeah, exactly. But so yeah, if y'all are available, if anybody that's tuning in right now is available, make sure you join us in the morning, 7 o'clock a.m. Eastern Standard Time until 10 o'clock for Way Out Wednesday. Way Out Wednesday. Now I'm gonna go to we're gonna go to Captain. Captain, will you pray us out, sir?
Man, I'd be very honored. Heavenly Father, who are called by many names, we humbly come to you and we ask your protection, we ask your guidance, and make us one in your name, for you have the power to unite us all. For it's from you we all come, and to you we will all return. Make us one in your name of all of your righteous servants. Amen.
Amen. It's been a great broadcast, y'all. I want to thank everybody for joining us. And more than that, I want to thank you for allowing DKM Media Group and Real Men Being Men for being a part of your evening. It is now, 10:17. You're about to exit Real Men Being Men. But before you go, I want you to do me two favors, if you will. One, I want you to continue to pray for us because we are certainly praying for each and every one of you. Number two, why this is real simple. I want you to go out there, find somebody and give them a hug because you never know. It could be the only hug that they get, or it could very well be their last. Love you, and ain't
Goodbye.
nothing you could do about it. Have a great day and a better tomorrow. And we shine some of this light even from Real Men Being Men. Take it out there into this wicked and cruel world that we live in, and let your light so shine. If you get an opportunity, give somebody some love. You just might find some love in return. Won't that be a beautiful thing? Have a great night. Take care of each other. See you tomorrow. And please, please, please be blessed. Give somebody some love and truth. They would appreciate it, and I'm sure that you will as well. Have a great night.